7, second workout of the day. Got a pre-workout here, hopefully trying to pick me up a little bit. We've got in this all free-form amino acids, acetyl-L-carnitine, arginine, beta-alanine, creatine, monohydrate, and the rest. So I'm gonna get this down and go and smash some shoulders. We are 8 weeks out. What a week it's been. Finished off my massive shoulder workout today with a bulk powders protein shake. Got a lot of natural, 100% natural protein, naturally formulated protein, about 10 grams of glutamine. I think natural products are a lot better coming into a show, as they work with your body a lot better. This week's been quite an interesting week for me. Being 8 weeks out, I haven't dropped the intensity of my training or anything, but I've changed the styles of my training. Usually in my off season, I'll go for more of a heavier lifting approach. You know, big, massive compound movements, deadlifts, squats, heavy bench pressing, stuff like that. Coming into a show, I changed my style a little bit. Not because I'm necessarily getting weaker, just because I feel like I'm at more greater risk of injury as my calories drop. So instead of focusing on trying to do massive heavy lifting, I'll more focus on using the eccentric and movement, and more focus on squeezing muscle belly, fascia stretching, all that kind of stuff coming into a show. But on the odd occasion, like I did today, I will chuck on some heavy weight and I will lift that heavy weight. Just 100% be mindful in my mind of what's happening in my body at the time, listen to my shoulders, make sure there's no niggles or injuries coming, and just be 100% aware of what I'm doing. This week's been an awesome week. I started with a lot of posing practice. We are currently 5 weeks, just over 5 weeks out of the Melbourne Championships, which will be my qualifier show for the Arnold Classic, which is going to be an awesome show. Come down, it's in Moorabbin. I'll post some dates about that coming into the show, and I'll post more about that. Also coming into next week is going to be a really awesome week as well. I've got a DEXA scan and a blood test planned next week. I think both those two things in prep are very, very important. Basically because a lot of people forget about the holistic side of things and their health coming to a show. You know, they bust their ass in the gym, do a lot of heavy lifting. They bust their ass with crazy ass dieting, but they seem to forget all the other stuff in life. This prep, I'm taking a little bit of a different approach, like I've said in the past. I'm really focusing on my holistic health. I'm also focusing on keeping my stress levels at an all-time low. I feel like every prep, a lot of people over diet, they do way too much cardio because they can't decipher the difference between body fat and fluid retention, and they kind of get into that mind frame that they're not lean enough, and they over diet, and then they overtrain, and they find themselves in this hard position to lose that body fat. You just need to trust the process, do the best you can every single day, keep your stress levels low, and at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. As long as you're doing your 100% best every single day, that's all you can really hope for. Coming to week 7, on the 25th, which will be next Monday, I'll be getting a DEXA scan done. Now, after coming into every single bodybuilding show I've done in my life, I've got a DEXA scan done at exactly the same date and the same time every single year, just so I can kind of look back to my last year and see where I was at last year in terms of muscle mass and body fat and water retention, and compare it to this year and see how far I've come each year. It also gives me an idea mentally how much fluid I'm holding, how much body fat I'm holding, so it kind of mentally keeps me in the right place as well. As well as I'll be doing a blood test as well this year, just to make sure my cholesterol's good, you know, my kidney and liver enzymes are all functioning correct. I mean, if you have got this, if your kidney enzyme's too high, your liver's not working as good as it could be, you know, your cholesterol's too high, your ability to get a result is going to be a lot better. So focus more on those parts of the prep coming to a show, more so about the heavy hardcore training. Of course, they all play a massive role in the entire sport, so you kind of need to do all of it. But a lot of people forget about these sort of things. here we are. This week's 8 weeks out. Feeling pretty good. Posting started this week. You know, cardio is getting pretty good now. Last week I mentioned to you guys that cardio was a bit of a struggle. I'm kind of getting my cardiovascular health has increased a little bit this week, so I'm feeling a lot better with my cardio. And the next few weeks I'm just keep doing it. I'm doing about an hour of cardio a day, so I'm feeling pretty good doing that. And coming into the show, hopefully I'll be ready a little bit earlier so I can gradually drop that cardio. But next set, I'm going to hit you back with the DEXA scan. I'm going to show you some results from last week to this week, as well as some, if I get that blood test done, if I can get those results back as soon as possible, I'll give you guys a rundown of why I get tested and what.